Hello everybody and welcome back to the PokeStray YouTube channel. I am Jordan Method and today we're going to be taking a look at a really strong and fast-paced deck that I think could do really well at regionals and other big events, and that is Darkrai Hypno Zoroark. Now this deck on paper is kind of gimmicky and a little bit it could be considered rogue, but it's actually really strong, really quick. It's insane. You'll just have to see it in play. So basically, our main attacker for this deck is this big old Darkrai EX, not the one that we used to play with the ability with the free retreat, and I can't remember the attack name, whatever it was, which did 90 and 30, which was in its time really good. Now we have this Darkrai, not as good, still pretty decent. It's got the attack Dark Head, which is our main attack for this deck. It does 80 damage if your opponent's active Pokemon is asleep. This attack does 80 more. So 160 is usually enough to get a bunch of damage on. With a Muscle Band you can knock out almost every single EX Pokemon in the format currently. Like there's some that you can't, such as like Magma's Groudon or Kyogre or Wailord. Megas you can't one-hit a KO, but there are other options that we can do when we run up against those. It also has the attack Dark Pulse, which is really good. It does 20 plus 20 more for each Dark Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So if you've got a bunch of Dark Energy loaded up, Dark Pulse can be doing a lot of damage. So this is the main attacker. We run a 3-line of them, and we also use Hypno in here from the Breakpoint set as well. It's got Good Night Babies, the ability that basically puts both active Pokemon to sleep. Now this is really where the deck is kind of iffy. Like, you have to have an out for not being asleep so you can attack. However, it does leave your opponent active Pokemon asleep, meaning Dark Head's going to be doing the 160 plus more damage with things like Muscle Band. So basically you want to leave both Pokemon asleep and then wake your active Darkrai up by either using Zoroark or All Night Party. We'll take a look at Zoroark first, as I feel it's more consistent in here. So basically it's got the stand-in ability. You've probably seen this card before. It's just like Keldeo's Russian, just allows Zoroark to become the active, and then with a Float Stone you can retreat this and Darkrai will be woken up. So that's one of the ways we can get out of sleep. The other one is using All Night Party, which once during your opponent's turn, once during each player's turn, if that player's active Pokemon is asleep, he or she may remove that special condition and heal 30 damage from that Pokemon. So not only can we heal damage from our Darkrai, but we can wake it up. I only play 2 All Night Parties. I want to play 3, but I took one of them out just to tech in this Malamar EX and give this a whirl. So basically this has got the Hyper Hypnosis ability, which once during a turn when we play an energy to this, we leave our opponent's active Pokemon asleep. So this is really good in the late game, because usually what happens is Hypnos are going to get nicely ended up, and we don't really have the room to run Super Rods and Sacred Ash. So I thought I'd try the Malamar in here, just as another backup way of getting your opponent asleep. Also things such as like your All Night Parties being removed from play. You don't really want to leave your Darkrai you don't want to leave your Darkrai asleep if you don't have the Zoroark. So Malamar is just another way of getting the sleep condition now without really hindering your own field. It's also got a really nice attack in Maximar. If you're good at flipping heads, it does 60 for each energy attached to this. You have to flip a coin, sorry, for each energy attached to this Pokemon. It does 60 damage times the number of heads. So that's 3 heads to to hit for 180, which is basically a knockout on all the top leveled EX Pokemon. Right, we then play a 2-2 Zoroark line. I've already talked about that. 2 Evil Toll, Baby Toll. Oblivion Wings, the only real reason for this. It does 30 damage and a touch of Dark Energy from our discard pile to one of our bench Pokemon. This is a 3 energy attack cost, so it sometimes can take a little bit to get this thing powered up. This is really good for the Night March matchup, however. Oblivion Wing can one-shot all Night Marches, except for Jolteon with the Fighting Fury Belt. Can still get around Pumpkaboo with the Fighting Fury Belt. And then we just play 2 Shaman for the setup draw. It's really good, and there's no reason not to play it in here. Moving on to our items, we've got 2 Level Ball. Zorua and Drowsy, and I think, yeah, Hypno are all Level Ball targets. So they're really good to have in here. When like half of you well, not half, but you know, like some of the main cards that you need in here are Level Ball targets. It's better to play this over Ultra Ball, seeing as we don't have to discard cards from our hand. We then also play 4 Max Elixirs. This just allows us to look at the top 6 cards of our deck and put a basic energy we find there onto one of our Pokemon. And this is really just to get this Darkrai powered up as quickly as possible, and it also helps us get the Dark Pulse late in game. It can also, if you've got like, say, for instance, a Zoroark with the Float Zone, you've got this with the double colors on the bench, you could max Elixir, put an energy onto this, attach it to the Malamar, put in your opponents to sleep, retreat, and then, you know, do all that. So it's got plenty of uses, and it's really good just to accelerate energy. Also, you can max Elixir a bunch of energy onto this and go for the Maxima. Then play 4 Trainer's Mail. This is standard in a lot of decks, I think. Just basically allowing us to get our Ultra Balls, Max Elixirs, All Night Parties, Supporters, Float Stones, Muscle Bands, whatever it is we need, we can get it with Trainer's Mail. Then play 4 Ultra Ball. That's also pretty standard, I think, in a lot of decks now, is just dropping your hand size to use Shaman for even more. Also, we got a couple of big Pokemon here which we can't get with Level Ball, so that's why we play the Ultra Ball. Pool VS Seekers, that's standard. I think I play like 4 in almost every deck now. 1 Hex Maniac. This is really the interesting card which I don't see a lot of decks playing. I really play it for 2 matchups. Well, yeah, we'll say 2 matchups. The main one is Primal Kyogre Zoroark, and I know it's kind of weird, like, to think that, because it isn't a deck that pops up all that much. But basically, Zoroark gives Kyogre a free way of retreating as well, of healing and special condition. So we play the 1 Hex just to stop a Kyogre in case, because we can't one-shot a Primal Kyogre, so we kind of have to hope that it's going to flip the tails and stay asleep. And if we Hex, they can't use Zoroark to rush, stand in and retreat to heal a special condition. So it's just a one-off. It's also nice in any metal matchups, mainly Sizzle, basic Sizzle, that plays Zoroark, and usually fighting through belt, meaning it has got 210 HP, which we can't one-hit KO with Darkrai. So they also play Zoroark in that, and just being able to stop them from using Zoroark one turn is really good. And Hex Mania is just a really good card to shove any abilities that you don't really want if your opponent's playing some pesky deck with a bunch of abilities that you don't really want to see down, such as like Pyroll. I don't think anyone plays Pyroll, but it's one way around Pyroll, the other is Zoroark obviously. But then play the 1 Judge. It's just really nice disruption in here. I think it's either this or a Birch, and I feel like Judge is just a little bit better. Then play the 1 Lysander. Usually I play 2 Lysanders in a lot of decks. I don't think this deck really has a space for 2, so we're just going to stick with 1 for now. Then have 4 Sycamore because it's the best draw support in the game. I've already gone over the 2 All Night Party, so we'll just skip over that and go right into the 2 Float Stone. These are basically to be attached to Zoroark to give it free retreat. Basically this allows the Pokemon attached to it has no retreat cost. It can also be attached to anything else that's stuck in the active if you really need to, but mainly you just want to use it for Zoroark so you can stand in and retreat into any Pokemon that you want. Then play 3 Muscle Band. Just because this is only hidden for 160, we need to get the extra 20 somewhere, and Muscle Band's probably the best way to do it. You could also run a 1-2 split with playing 1 Fighting Fury Belt. I don't really see it much better than Muscle Band. I think usually you want the extra 20 over the 10 and the extra HP. This thing's okay, it's got 180 HP, there's not many things that can one-shot it. The things that can are probably like, Gallade and stuff, but they're going to one-shot it even with a Fighting Fury Belt. Moving on, we got the 4 double colors and 8 dark energy. This requires double colors, this requires double colors, this can use double colors, this does. It's really no reason not to play the double colors and the 8 dark, just because we need to play a high count to effectively use max elixir. And it can also help us hit this Dark Pulse for a lot of damage. So that is my Darkrai Hypno Zoroark list. We're going to go and play some games and see how this one goes. Alrighty, and here we go for Road to Regionals number 2 with Darkrai Zoroark Hypno. Now, I've just played a quick game, and my PTCGO is lagging quite a bit. Hopefully this won't last long. Basically my internet dropped out for half an hour, so I've been waiting half an hour to play this game. And like, ever since then it's just going really slow, so I'm not too sure what the problem is. I could try and fiddle around with some settings. Okay, so your opponent had no basics. Alrighty, so hopefully this problem won't last too long and we can get a smooth running game. That would be really nice. I'll put the Darkrai onto the bench. The Darkrai onto the bench. Alrighty. Not a bad hand to start with either. But my opponent is playing Trevenant. I can just tell by the Burst and Balloon and the Psychic that they're playing a Trevenant break deck. Which is a little... I don't actually think that's a bad matchup for us. I don't know if we're going first or second. But basically, even if they do get the first turn... Well, I'd prefer to be going first in this matchup just so I can play my Muscle Band down. They are going to mulligan quite a bit, which is fine. PTCGO is not running as smooth as it normally does for me, which is a bit of a shame. I think it might just be my internet connection at the moment. I'm having a couple of problems with it. Alright, so we will draw for all of these mulligans, there's no reason not to. Yes, okay. So, I don't remember how many times my opponent mulliganed, but it was quite a bit. Alrighty, so I don't think I'll play Malamar. Oh, I probably should have played. Oh, it doesn't really matter. Alright, my opponent's going to start Wobbuffet. Oh, brilliant. We're just going to go Dark down onto the Yveltal. Onto the Yveltal. God. We will play the Muscle Band down here. We can go for a Trainer's Mail, we may as well. I'm really going to regret Ultra Balling away those two double colors. Oh, come on, PTCG, just work for me. It's never done this to me before, usually it runs fine. I'll take the Muscle Band here. Then I can Ultra Ball, grab a Drowsy. I would have probably taken a Shaman, just because I want to avoid dropping the two double colors. I was hoping to pull a Judge out, but that's not the case, but that's fine. We can just get a Drowsy down. Wow. Come on. Please work. We'll get rid of the Sycamore and the double colors just because we do have that VS Secret in hand, so it doesn't really matter too much. Now I could just hold off playing the Sycamore this turn. That's always an option. And actually I am kind of leaning towards that. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. So what I'm going to do is VS Seek for the Sycamore and then just pass turn, and then next turn I'll have the double colors down on here, and hopefully I can get probably a Dark Energy in the discard pile or a Max Elixir, and I can have a fully powered up Darkrai EX. So we're just going to VS Seek for the Sycamore and pass turn. Alrighty, come on. Start working properly for me. Alright, so that seemed a bit smoother. Okay, so this is seeming a lot smoother for my opponent than it was for me. So maybe it was just my turns that are a lot laggier than my opponent's, I guess? I don't know. Hopefully it won't last too long. They're going to see Trainer's Mail for Ultra Ball, Bursting Blue down onto the Wobbuffet. Ooh, that's rough. I don't really like that. We're going to see the Ultra Ball now. I accidentally took Zorua over Drowsy. I don't know why I did that. That was a really dumb move and I just only realized it just then. So that was a misplay on my part. So my opponent's going to play the Shaman. Already in the chat. Forgot about Wob. I'm expecting it. Ah, they just conceded. Yeah, they forgot about the Wobbuffet ability which cut off the Shaman. We've all made that mistake, so not much you can do about it, but it happened, so. Alrighty, so play another round with this. We get an encounter and an Ninjask. Coolio. Should probably really focus on this to get the N for what? Yeah. I've got 18 days to grind it, I'll do it. I don't really focus too much on it. Maybe I should. Like, I really only come on here to play for these videos now. Every now and then I'll pop on to test, but I usually like to do my testing in real life. Alrighty, so we're going to get to call the flip. We'll go Tails here. We win the coin flip. Cool. Oh no, I've got the little the connection problem. We would like to go first. We seem to be running a bit smoother. Oof. That is a... Oh, that's a hand. If I can get it in a basic, I wouldn't be too mad. I got the two Max Elixirs. The top deck Darkrai. We see Lightning Energy. Ugh. Well, that's actually not too bad. I forgot that we're not playing Yveltal EX. We just played Baby Toll. That's fine. And Fire, so... Ooh. Pyro. This is weird. I suppose we'll see how we go. We get to draw two of the mulligan. I'm hoping for either Ultra Ball or just a Darkrai. And we get Zorua, that's okay, I guess. I can play the Max Elixirs, maybe accelerate a bit of energy. We get the third Max Elixir. Manectric, brilliant. We're just gonna go the Dark there. Muscle Band, and then we got 3 Max Elixirs to play, so we can probably get 2 energies onto this Zorua, hopefully. That's the goal, we get the first. Would have been so good if this was a Darkrai right now. And there's a second. Oh man, if that was a Darkrai. I probably shouldn't have put the Muscle Band there either. I don't think it matters too much. I'm not going to bother with the third energy. There's no point to really playing that Max Elixir. Ugh. Okay, so we can train as male. For All Night Party. I don't think I want to play that just yet. I'm going to Ultra Ball away just Hex and Sycamore. I've got the 2 VS Seekers so I can grab them again. Do I take a Darkrai or a Shaman here? I'm just gonna think, I think I'll just take Darkrai honestly. Actually, I'll try to click out of that, I wanted to take Drowsy. Oh well, we can take this, we got the VS Seekers in hand for next turn. Keep the All Night Party in hand. Probably just next turn VS Seeker for the Sycamore. I do also have the Zoroark, so if my opponent litters their bench space, then we'll be able to take a knockout on Manectric, but we'll just see how we go. Alrighty, I would like to draw into an energy so I can Sycamore it away so Oblivion Link's not going to be completely useless. You're going to see Fire come down onto the Manectric, Shaman drawing 2. So I actually kind of see what this is. Basically they're using Manectric EX, probably more so for the Assault Laser attack, and a Pyro that allows you to discard a Fire Energy. It actually could even be Mega Manectric. So they're just allowing to discard a Fire Energy to bring up a bench Pokemon. This is usually a tactic used to target Shamans. It hasn't seen too much success, but it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup nonetheless, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try and avoid benching Shamans in this matchup if possible. So there's the first Litleo come down. I don't know how I've never really tested the deck. I have seen it before. It hasn't really got a great track record, but it's still interesting to see a different build of Manectric that isn't Bats. Even though that's kind of faded out now, after Breakpoint, Manectric Bats has kind of seen a decrease in play from what I've seen, and it's partly reasons for max potions and things like that, which kind of, Garbodor being back, they just kind of make, there is the Mega Manectric. Okay, so now we know what this is. They'll probably be playing the Fire deck. I don't know, maybe. I don't know, okay, so it could just be even just straight Mega Manectric with Pyro? I'm not too sure. Alrighty, so we're going to see a Sycamore away the okay. So it's Mega Man Pyro, that makes sense. I thought they were only playing the other Pyro to bring up bench Pokemon like Shamans and stuff, but this makes a bit more sense. They're playing the other Pyro. Now, one interesting thing to note is I'm actually going to be able to take 2 prize cards next turn just because of Zoroark's Mind Jack attack, which does 30 for each bench. My opponent's got a full bench, which is 160. It does 30 for each bench, which is 150 plus 10 base damage, plus 20 from the Muscle Band is going to be enough to get a knockout. I'll go double color down onto Darkrai. So yeah, I think I'll just go with that. It'd be safer than letting this thing potentially become a Mega Manectric. We'll put the All Night Party down. I've got 2 options here. I could either VS Seeker for the Hex or VS Seeker for Sycamore, and I think I'll just take the Sycamore. I don't really see how my opponent would have been affected by Hex too much in that. If I did take that route, Pyros will probably evolve this turn. If we can hit a Max Elixir, that'd be nice. I don't think we will get a lot of energy there. No, I wasn't expecting to. That's fine. We do have a Judge in hand as well, which is really cool. A couple of Dark Energies we can play out to Darkrai next turn. We're just going to stand in right now, and then we can Mind Jack for the KO on this Manectric. 180 damage. Pretty sweet. Okay, so we'll take our first 2 prize cards. Alright, so we're going to see a Darkrai and a Trainer's Mail. Cool. So hopefully I can start to get a... my opponent concedes, and I'm not going to ever get a chance to play this deck properly, am I? Alright, we'll give it one more. Hopefully we can get a competitive game, or at least a long, game where I can show off the potential that the deck has. Maybe I should just Oblivion Wing so my opponent didn't rage quit, but we'll play one more. Okay, so we see Fairy and Dark type. Oh, what is this? I'm trying to think over all the things in my head, which include Fairy and Dark. Maybe like Romatee's Evil Toll? I don't know. I mean, that would be an incredibly slow build to Evil Toll. Opponent had no basics. We're gonna go with the Evil Toll here. and Darkrai. So we do start with the Darkrai, which is nice. Alrighty. Zoroark Break and a Zoroark. I did see Dark Energy. Could this... I'm trying to think, maybe it's just a one-off fairy tech in like YZG. Could be like a what's that other one called? Not Aromatisse, Slurpuff. Tasting Slurpuff. Slurpuff, maybe they don't have Shamans and that's just they're out to not playing Shamans using Slurpuff. It's interesting. Alright, we're gonna get another Drowsy. Oh, the first Drowsy here. Okay, so I think I was right. I think it's some kind of dark variant including Slurpuff. Alrighty, so we're gonna see a Zorua come down. I don't know how I don't know about this matchup. I've never played against anything like this, so it's going to be different, I guess. Double Colors onto that bench Zorua. I'm gonna go Dark Energy, Double Colors Energy here. Now I am tempted to just Hex this turn. That could be a possibility. We're gonna train as well. I don't want to take that Sycamore. I would love to see an Ultra Ball, but I'm not too fast. We'll take the Max Elixir. We could potentially get a first turn Darkrai setup. Ooh. Okay, so if this happens, I've got two options. And you know what? I think I'm just going to risk it. I'm going to try and get a... Actually, I don't want to play that. I'm going to try and dig out a Floatstone here. Oh, we didn't see that. Okay. I'll level ball first. I don't think I'll bench whatever I take. I'll take the Zorua just in case. But I won't bench it just in case I do see an Ultra Ball off this trainer's mail. I could potentially go for Shaman. And obviously it's two Max Elixirs. I'll take the one, I guess. So now I kind of regret my decision. I do have a pretty decent hand, however. And Zoroark's not going to be knocking me out, so that's fine. Alrighty, so we're going to get Dark down onto this Zorua here. I'll hold off playing the VS Seeker, I don't think it's too important. And I'll hold on to that Muscle Band as well. I don't really know whether I want to commit it to this Darkrai EX. I'm not too sure if my opponent even plays EX, so it might be better suited on Zorua. But we're going to see Tails from a Roller Skate. We're going to see a Bridget. Coolio. Alrighty, so this will kind of give out what my opponent's playing. Okay, so this is like a Zoroark Slurpuff deck. This is really cool. You don't really see things like this in major tournaments, so it's fun to play against these kind of roguish decks. Alright, my opponent's going to pass turn, which is fantastic for me. Now, can I either go... I'll just go the basic Dark, or could... I think I'll just attach to the Yveltal, put the Muscle Band onto that. I'm just not positive that I'm going to hit a Zoroark. Unfortunately, I do have to drop two VS Seekers in here, which sucks. Alrighty, so if I hit everything I need, which we don't, unless I get an all-night party off this, then we might have something. And we seal a Lysander. I'll take the Lysander. Not happy about it, but I'll take it. Okay, so I could take a Zoroark here. Stand in. I'm just... I don't really know what to do. Do I want to get ahead in the prize game? I honestly don't see Oblivion Wing doing much help for me, but... You know, I'm just going to Oblivion Wing this turn. Next turn I'll be able to get a knockout on this Slurpuff, Swirlix, so I think that'll be fine. We didn't have any Dark Energies. I could have Ultra Balled them away then, but I don't know what I want to take. I kind of want to take Shaman, but if I can't get an all-night party out to counter this Parallel City, then there's no point to that. I'm going to see a Roller Skates and then a Tiano. So none of my opponent's Pokemon have evolved yet. We're going to see the Floatstone onto the active Swirlix. I'm going to retreat into another Swirlix. I do have the Lysander here if I really want to play it. I don't know if I do, but... actually, how much HP does this have? 60 HP. Alrighty, so I'm just not drawing into the stuff I want to see at this point. I'm going to put a Dark Energy down on Darkrai just to potentially hit for a Dark Pulse. I'll Lysander this up. I want to take a prize card. I really need to hit an all-night party here. So we're just going to Lysander up this Swirlix and Oblivion Wing for the KO. And there's no Valid Tigers there, that's fine. Come on, all-night party. And we see a Float Zone. That's not too bad though. If my opponent doesn't really get anything set up soon, I think we'll be doing okay. This might get into a bit of a Zoroark war. So we see another Ultra Ball. Alright, now I think this is a turn where they just focus on getting some KOs. So I'm going to Ultra Ball away Zorua and Drowsy. Alrighty, and I'll take a Zoroark. We don't even have any Shamans in deck. Are they all prized or did I discard something? Okay, so we get 2 Shamans in the prize card. Fantastic. So we're just gonna go Zoroark here. I might as well play this. And then we can stand in. And Mind Jack for the KO. Take a prize, would love it, an all-night party or a shaman. Let me see Dark. I don't think those shamans are going to be too much use, seeing as half of my prize cards are now shaman EXs. Alrighty, so another swirly coming into the active position. My opponent is just dead drawing. They aren't getting anything. So I'll just put the Dark down on Evil Toll, don't think it matters too much, and just get a Mind Jack here. And now this one will not be a knockout, which kind of sounds like I could have retreated, but then I'm worried that like maybe some Zoroarks are going to come up and we'll get some things going. So we're going to see a Tieno now to draw 3. And overall I don't mind playing the slow game at this point. I think I'm in a pretty good position. So we're going to see the Professor's Letter, grabbing 2 Dark Energy. And it'll be interesting to see. No, they didn't get anything again. I'm just going to continuously Mind Jack here. Maybe next turn I'll go for some Hypno and shenanigans just to show off the potential that this deck does have. So we'll give that a go, hey? That's if my Zoroark doesn't get knocked out. We're going to see the VS Seeker now for the Tieno. I think it's the only one they have in there. Oh, they have the Bridget. We're going to take the Tieno. I really hope they don't get Zoroark because then I'm not going to be able to show off the potential of my deck. Well, actually, I say that, but I probably still could. I'm going to see a Great Ball for the Evil Toll EX coming down onto the bench. What would mind the Lysander right now? Alrighty, so Dangerous Energy goes down onto that. And okay, so they're going to confuse us. That is all fine by me. What a card to draw. I'm going to play the All Night Party here. I'll play down the Malamar. Then I can Ultra Ball. Get rid of these 2. I'd like to draw into a Dark Energy so I can avoid having to use like Hypno shenanigans this turn. Just use the Malamar away. That'll be a lot easier for me. Because I don't play any switching, so I'd have to like retreat, switch. So if I hit a Dark Energy, I should, or even a double colorless is fine. I just really want to show off this Darkrai EX and its true power. Alrighty, so we do see the energies. Good Dark down there, leaving our opponent's Pokemon to fall asleep. So yeah, this is one of those situations where I couldn't pull off this miracle turn because I have to retreat. You can only retreat once. But now we're going to get the full potential of Darkrai EX, hitting for 180 damage. Take the 20 from the Dangerous Energy, that doesn't bother me too much. Gonna take our prize card. Gonna see VS Seeker. I do have Lysander in here, I believe. My opponent even just promotes the Evil Toll EX. So basically I can All Night Party. Oh, is this a knockout? 20, 40, 60, 80. Alrighty, so my Darkrai is actually gonna get knocked out here. That's rough. Okay. I'm gonna just go up into Evil Toll here. Okay, so what can I do from this point? I really want to get another Darkrai down. That'd be really nice. I don't want to have to Sycamore though. VS Seeker here. I probably should have played that a bit better. That was silly of me. Got 2 prize cards. I'm not really doing much damage. VS Seeker, we'll just take the Lysander. 9 cards left in deck. If I go for a Sycamore, I'm risking the deck out. But that's my only legitimate option this turn is go for the Darkrai just to show it off a bit more, eh? I don't even think I've got any Dark Energy left in deck, but I can Oblivion Wing this turn, which is what I'll do. Hit for 50, put Dark onto the Darkrai EX over here. Now I could potentially go for the Maxima. I don't really want to do that. Whilst it would be fun, I'm here to show off Darkrai EX. I could probably flip 2 heads with Maxima if I put another double colors. It's a tempting offer, but I have to refuse it. So we're going to see the Zoroark break come down. Ooh, if they go into that, that's going to make things difficult. What do I do? This is not easy. Okay, so they're going to go double colors here. Lysander, Malamar, and they just lost the game. We're going to hit for 200, which is impressive and all, but no, it's not enough. So I can just go into Darkrai. I'll put us both to sleep through this. Good night, babies. All Night Party. Double colors. We're going to even throw the Muscle Band down, why not? And there we go, we're going to Dark Head for the KO of Evil Toliex, taking our last 3 prize cards. And there we go. We're going to take the 20 from the Dangerous Energy. Isn't enough to knock us out. So that is Darkrai Zoroark Hypno. It's a really fun deck to play and can be really strong if you can pull off these sweet combinations. Unfortunately, I didn't get too great of a game. The last one was okay. It kind of showed off a bit more of the potential that the deck does have. I'm really not positive on my list personally. I'm yet to get thoroughly into testing this, but however, I do think this could pop up at a regional event. Obviously, if you're new to the channel, I'm from Australia, so we have Australian regionals. They only play standard format here, so this is a standard list for Darkrai Zoroark Hypno. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, head over to our Facebook page and give us a like there. All that is very much appreciated. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video.